God, I wish I could just when I name search
Yo, can you hear me?
when I name search on Twitter, these are the people I want to argue with. What's up?
Yo, what's up, man?
I don't know. What's up? You're the one who messaged me.
All right, word. Yo, I've been a fan for a while, but I just like have not been consuming your content as much lately.
Hmm.
Mainly because like I understand what you say about like how you want to like move, and from my perspective, you're moving to the right to capture an audience in order to move to the left.
Wait, hold on. Are you like?
I
Or
just
wait,
think
wait. Are you
that
like throat fucking your mic?
no, I'm walking around outside.
Okay.
Is it better now?
I think you're gonna have to hold it at a consistent distance. All right, hit me up. What's up? I'm moving to the right. Why?
All right.
How?
No, so I think you're just post-act justifying going for a larger market share, because now when I watch your content, I'm like, oh, like great, let's throw in some Vaush. I'm gonna have a good time, whatever. I loved your content for so long, and now it's just like you shitting on leftists for like 2 hours.
Yeah, because I'm more
And I'm
left
just
than
like,
them, so I'm actually moving further to the left than them.
no, but I understand, but it's like when a conservative asks like, oh, prove to me that I'm racist, and it's like you can't necessarily point to one time that they said they wanted to like do horrible things to minorities, but the general, the general experience you get from talking to them, how they act, how they treat other people, you can tell that they have a racist tilt towards their perspective on the world.
So
And I'm
you're saying
saying
that you don't have a
that's a,
specific point of me being anti-left, but my general
no, I
tendencies.
do, I do. I'm saying that the fact that like when I turn on your content now, it's very clearly an anti-tanky it's like that's what it is now. It's like that and anti-Trump, and there's not much critique of like the neoliberal establishment anymore. I'm just saying,
Wait,
like this
but
is what I've
wait,
noticed
I
from
so
watching your stuff for the
I
last
talk
year.
about tankies from time to time, but tankies aren't left. So me criticizing them is not an indictment of how far left I am. And Trump is the president of the
Right,
United
but
States of
but what
America.
happens is, Vash, you say this, and I understand like how you interpret it, but you have a huge fan base of people who then have an ever expanding window of what tanky is. So like they'll see like one sort of aesthetic, and they'll almost become phobic of it. Like if someone mentions something about Stalin, they'll like immediately be like, "Oh my God, it's a tanky." That means
I
that
think if a
you're burning
person
your
is
bus.
speaking
You don't like
positively of
Joseph
Stalin,
Stalin.
that's
You don't do
probably
this. You don't. It's like they automatically ascribe like a bunch of positions, and it creates like this general anti-left narrative sort of,
wait,
and this is
of
what's going to
Stalin?
attract liberals for you.
But Stalin was a reactionary. He's not a leftist. If people are
Sure,
seeing Stalin
sure,
defense and thinking that that's
but I'm
tanky
talking
shit, they're
about like,
probably right.
but like the material results in terms of the general, I don't want to say like placement of your community and thus like your business essentially, because like you are running a business,
Hmm.
is like you're sort of, yeah, you're shifting to the right to me, and
But
I'm
how? Wait,
saying
but
it's
how? What
because
positions of mine have moved to the right?
it's not just about your positions.
Isn't that how you
It's about
describe a
it's about
person's?
it's almost about like your opportunity cost in a way of like how you spend your time in your channel. Because like now when it's just weird. Like I click on Bosch and I'm like, okay, like let's hear some like anti-conservative shit, like inject it right into my veins. Like let's fucking go. And then it's just like anti-tanky shit. And it's like you I understand you
But
exist
tankies are
online.
conservative.
I just think see, this is what I'm saying. It's like you exist online in this world and you create this narrative that's so attached to the online left and the online right. And I understand that's like kind
But
of what your business
well, I'm
is. Like
online, yeah.
I
You
yeah,
realize
but
for the
I'm just
past
saying
3 months I've mostly been talking about like electoral politics, right? I haven't really talked about tankies that much. I've mostly been trying to push people to vote for Biden, and now I'm concerned about the Senate runoffs in Georgia. But like most of the we can look at the videos that I've made. I feel like most of them are pointed critiques of like conservatism. There are a couple videos critiquing Biden as well, but given the fact that Biden has no political power at the moment, it just feels kind of dumb. I do want to critique him right now for that Biden immigration shit. The fact that he doesn't want to revoke all of Trump's policies via EO. Yeah, but like, I don't like. There's not much else to criticize the libs on because the libs haven't had any power to do anything.
interesting. Yeah, I see what you're saying there. It's just like I guess what I'm saying is I'm not so sure that I can really tell that, like, when I first started watching your content, you know what drew me to it? It was the fact that I could tell you were genuine. Like, you like, and I know that's like a cliche thing to say, but like normally I could tell like you really were like trying to explain yourself and you would listen to the other person you were talking with. And I just don't know if this is like really going to culminate into a channel that goes, you know, swings. I know you may not agree with that assessment, but like the positioning of your channel is definitely going to attract more liberals. I agree. You're gonna attract more liberals
That's good.
for
Aren't
sure.
those the people we want to move left?
Okay, but and I'm saying normally in this system, normally the way this works is that it's a post-act justification of the person who's running the whatever
But
enterprise.
if you're a
You
socialist,
know,
your goal should be to appeal to liberals. Like, we can't win if all we do is appeal to people who are already socialists. That's a losing strategy.
I just yeah, see, but like it may not just be about this idea of appealing. That sort of like goes into the free marketplace of ideas, does it not? Like we don't really live in a free marketplace of ideas. We've had institutions that have seized power and essentially
Yeah, but
disseminated their own
we're
vision
just
of the
talking
world.
about what type of content that I produce on my YouTube channel. And the content that I produce on my YouTube channel does pull in liberals, but I think that's a good thing because those are the people that I want to expose to arguments about the need for progressive socialism. If I'm not talking to them, who am I talking to? People who already agree with me? The real grift would be me only focusing on people who already agree with me because they're an incredibly easy source of money and agreement. I would also avoid any of the antagonism that I share with the rest of the online left. I could possibly be far larger than I am now if it weren't for my principled stance and the positions that I hold. But I do believe those things that I say, so I argue for them
No,
and I defend
see,
them.
okay, this is my thing. When you say this is my issue here. When you say that you would be making more money, you know, if you were to go into a grift, essentially going into like the hard Bernie or bust, you know, uh, I do you really find that you really believe that that would bring you in more money than expanding to the liberal market, which is like literally like an established, like, you know what I mean? It just seems like
Yes,
it seems like the liberal appeal is going to make you more money.
taking advantage of an existing demographic that's already amicable to my ideas is far easier and far more immediately profitable than trying to like laboriously appeal to like a new demographic. Yeah, look at the Bad Faith podcast. They put out like 2 episodes and they're already getting $30,000 a month on Patreon. Like you can immediately grab these audiences pretty effectively. Also, Hassan makes like probably 5 times as much as I do, and I'm not exactly hurting for cash. And I'm not saying he's a grifter. I'm just saying that the way he presents his content isn't exactly like a pointed effort to bring over liberals. It's just more of like a socialist react Andy, shock jock radio.
Yeah, but see, like he pulls in from a different avenue, which I think he kind of pulls in from the disillusioned. You know what I mean? He may pull in people from Twitch who kind of stumble across his content because he is funny, he's handsome, like it's fun to watch his stream. I was bouncing back and forth between you and Hassan, like usually throughout the day. Hassan also streams longer, so I think like that sort of, you know, I don't know. I guess what I'm saying is that like I don't know if I really believe that you're gonna like start criticizing it. Like how
But
do
I've
you
already
think in
criticized
the
the
liberals' mind?
Democrats.
Yeah, but
What
how do
what
you
do you
think
what do
the
you think I
liberals'
should
mind is going to
criticize
be
the
changed?
Democrats on that I haven't already criticized the Democrats on?
I think it's less about specific points and more about how you spend your time.
So yeah, what you're talking about right now is virtue signaling. What you're saying is when you imagine a socialist, you imagine somebody who dunks on Pelosi all the time. And the fact that I'm not
No,
doing
not,
that
not
enough
necessarily.
means that I'm not a proper socialist, even if you can't
No,
point to
no,
any
no. It's not
specific
that you're
arguments that I'm
not doing
missing.
that. It's not that you're not doing that. It's that you keep on harping on this constructed idea of a tanky.
I don't talk about tankies like that often, but are you a tanky? Like, why are you so defensive about it?
No, see, like no. I wouldn't say that I'm a tanky, but I would say that I'm against using this label of what a tanky is because what materially happens is people, especially people who are new to the left, the idea of what a tanky is to them just
I
is
think it's been
ever
months
expanding.
since my last video about a tanky. Like,
Maybe, but it's in every single video. You'll like
I don't think so. Are you sure you're not just a tanky? Like, so wait, your argument shifted around a lot. So your current argument is I've moved to the right because I don't like tankies? Because I've never liked tankies. Some of my earliest videos
no,
were
that's
making
not my
fun of them.
argument. My overall argument is that you've positioned your channel way much more to the right than it was before. Your
How?
community is just
What have I moved to the
because
right
it's
on?
just the way that you refer to the establishment, you're very, very generous. You know, say we're going to save our democracy. Do you think the founding
Do you
fathers?
wait?
You appeal.
Do you
You're
think being
making more.
pro-democracy is moving to the right?
No, nope, nope, nope. What I'm saying is what you're alluding to when you reference this idea of a democracy, you're appealing to liberals at the same time. So
That
when
wait,
you
that
do
doesn't mean
this,
I'm
you're sort of
moving to the
like
right.
holding weight.
Wait, do you think it's bad that leftists and liberals generally agree on the value of democracy?
No, not at all.
Then what's wrong? So then how am I moving to the right by being pro-democracy? Should I deliberately
Well, no,
avoid subjects that liberals will agree with?
you give a lot of credit. You give a lot of credibility to the current state of the way things are.
What credibility?
When you kind of make these like vague gestures about like saving our democracy, and uh, I can't necessarily think of anything off the top of my
Wait,
head more
what's
than
wrong
that.
with
But like,
saving our
it's
democracy? How and
no,
how is that
there's
pro-establishment?
nothing wrong with saving what there's nothing wrong with fighting off. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But
when
it's
I talk
just
about saving democracy, I literally refer to it as bourgeois democracy. I've never misled my audience into
not as
believing
often
that the
as you used to.
democracy.
Not
No,
as
more often
not
than
as
I
often
used
as you
to.
used to.
I only started
I
using
don't.
the term bourgeois democracy after I read all that fucking Lenin back when I was making my video on the necessity of voting
This is
for
the other
Bernie.
thing. I'm glad you brought that
No,
up.
no, no. Wait, hold on. See,
It's
hold on. You're wrong. So I only started using that term after reading up on all of that theory, and I have never led my audience to believe that the democracy we have in this country is like a functional or truly representative one. Whenever I talk about democracy, I make it clear that what I'm referring to is bourgeois democracy, something that the early theorists agreed was the necessary battleground for socialists to continue their struggle for workers' rights. I don't want us to slip into fascism. Neither do most liberals. That's a shared point of agreement that I can use as a wedge to bring them over to my side.
I see what you're saying. I just don't really necessarily agree with some of the things, some of the way you frame it. But
Like what? Like what part of that do you disagree with?
just the way you use like fascism as a wedge. Like you use Trump, who's a fascist, and I think you can qualify Trump as a fascist. I would also qualify Barack Obama as a fascist or a proto-fascist as well, 100%.
How?
What's up?
How?
Because he still backs up this neoliberal establishment,
Fascism
which
isn't
literally
neoliberalism.
does. No, no, I understand the distinction that you make, but I'm saying the amount of death and destruction that has been brought to the world just solely through the entirety of the liberal establishment
But that's not
is
fascism.
unbelievable. It's unbelievable the empire the death that this empire has brought upon
Yeah, but that's
this
not the
world.
fascism doesn't mean when your government kills a lot
Okay,
of people.
my point
Emperors
is
and
that like
kings
the
beforehand have
way
killed many people.
the way you use fascism as a wedge to distinguish, which you can, I think you can, but the way in which you do it, you hold so much water for the neoliberal establishment when
How?
you essentially, because you whitewash the death and destruction that's brought upon just by
How?
the liberal establishment.
When have I ever downplayed the
It's
damage done by capitalism?
you're not gonna you don't I mean you don't outright downplay it. You don't start up a
I
stream and
really
say,
think you just wish
"Oh,
I virtue
capitalism is
signaled more.
accused of
Like you
doing a
would be
lot of bad
fine.
things, but I'm going to defend it." You don't
You
do
would
that.
be fine. Wait, I'm not defending capitalism. I'm defending democracy. I think you really would be fine with everything that I do if I just virtue signaled a little more. Like I do all the same content, make all the same points, but then I talk about like Pelosi or Obama or Biden being bad for
No,
like
no, because see, like you have me in a you have see, you're thinking of me as like a consumer right now. Like you're
you
viewing
haven't
me
made a
as a
single
viewer,
point
as
about
a
what
consumer of
positions I
you, and you
hold.
have this weird idea that like I'm someone that I'm not, or that I behave a certain way because you have such a like constructed and solidified perspective on like the people that hate you. You have such a like understanding of
But
what it
so
is.
far
Like
the
it's
only
just a big
argument that you've
amorphous
made
ball
for how
of
I've
people
moved
that
to the
hate you.
right is that I criticize tankies, which I always have, and that
It's
I
not. No, see, this is
defend
what I'm saying. This is what I'm
democracy.
saying. It's not that you criticize tankies. It's that you spend so much time
I think I
criticizing
spend
tankies.
less time than I used to. I've tried to get away from the
It's
lefty infighting. That was the whole come pledge thing. I did that
You
for like 4
started up your
months.
stream today talking about tankies, didn't you?
No, I started my stream today talking about lefties who
Or
don't.
shitting on the left, like just
Wait,
shitting on
yeah,
the
because
left.
wait.
Like,
I was shitting on the left because they were objectively incorrect about something. Is that bad? Should we just let the left like be wrong?
no, it's just that you spend an awfully long time on it.
Yeah, it was a segment. I mean, it's a
I
problem. I
guess
want
it's
my
just it's like
movement to be good.
yeah, I agree with that, but I mean,
Are you cool with like most of our online lefty compatriots being fucking morons who have no idea how American governance?
see, like this is what I'm talking.
No, but are you okay with that? Like, is that an acceptable thing for you?
I'm not gonna like jump into classifying. Like,
Yeah,
what
you
group
just
are we
don't like
talking about
you just
now?
don't like infighting. You just
Explain
want
the
like
group
all
again.
lefties to get along and not criticize
No,
each other. And it doesn't
no,
matter if we're like right or wrong. We just like
no,
move forward
no, I
as long
don't.
as we criticize Pelosi enough. Like,
No.
but you haven't mentioned a single position that I hold that's made me go to the right. The tanky stuff, the criticism has always been there. My advocacy for saving democracy against Trump has always been there. I've talked about
I
it a
mean,
little
we don't
more
have
lately because of the
we don't
election,
really
but
have like a functioning healthy democracy right now. You'd agree, right?
of course.
Okay. So when you keep talking about saving the democracy, and then you also make these weird gesture, it's just it paints a very different picture than your content from like a year and a half
It's
ago.
bourgeois democracy, and we're in an election season, which means that I have to focus on not having a fascist in office. Yeah, that's important.
I think you could argue that Joe Biden is built on like a lot of fascistic tendencies, but could you not?
No, he's really not.
No.
He's just a neoliberal. That's not good, but he's not a fascist.
He's just a neoliberal. But I mean,
Yeah,
like,
dude,
see,
wait,
like,
do you think
gosh,
fascism
I
isn't
would
worse than...
never, if I was running, if I was running a show, I would never, like, it would never come up in from me to say it. Like he's just a neoliberal. I
do
would
you
never
think that
say that.
neoliberalism is as bad as fascism?
No, but see, like, why are
Okay,
you
then he's
bringing the
just... Yeah,
conversation?
no,
Can we
that's...
just talk about?
Because
Yeah, fascism is bad. We all know that.
neoliberalism domestically is mostly defined by its austerity and ineffectiveness, whereas fascism is defined by fucking death camps and purges.
Yeah, and
okay?
that's part of the issue is you don't attach the death and destruction to neoliberalism.
I said
You separate
domestically.
it into
Wait.
fascism.
No, death and
Yeah, I know
destruction
you said
aren't components of either political system. All political systems can cause
I'm
death
saying
and
what
destruction.
they've brought about materially.
What?
I'm talking about what the political systems have materially caused. Neoliberalism itself.
Do you think a
has brought
fascist
death and
American
destruction.
government would be better than a neoliberal American government?
This is incredible. I'm
This is
just
no.
trying to criticize neoliberalism right now, and you keep saying,
but I'm okay.
is it
Wait, hold on.
fascism worse?
Wait,
To
stop
which I'll say,
talking.
Sure.
The only reason we're talking about this is because you just accused me of saying just neoliberalism. So if we can agree that fascism is worse than neoliberalism, the term just neoliberalism is in fact an accurate descriptor when referring to something to which the contrary point is fascism.
This is just okay. Yeah, if you want to like be like a technocrat about it. I mean, like,
define technocrat.
You know what I mean? Like,
no, I don't. I need your help.
You want to take what I'm saying. You want to take what I'm saying and try to analyze it down.
No,
and break
I just
it
want to
apart
make sure you
really
understand the definition of words. Okay, that's not technocracy.
You're pivoting now.
That's not a pivot.
Yeah, you are.
Are you? Is this a troll?
No.
No, I don't think this is a troll. You were arguing sincerely earlier.
Troll,
I think you were arguing sincerely earlier. I just think you realized that it's a lost cause, so now you're going to pretend that it was a troll.
Why do you end it? Why do you always do this? Every single call, it's like, this is a troll. I'm not trolling, dude.
All right. Do you have any final memes?
Not really. It's cool talking to you. I still watch your content now and then, but like, I hope you what's it called? I hope you come through and like start really trying to do what you said you're doing with moving the liberals left. I don't see how it's going to be done. I don't know if I trust you when you say you do it. You'll do it. But
chat, spam a frog if you're a liberal who's been moved left by my content. All right, I love you, buddy. Peace out. Hopefully you'll enjoy my content. Okay.
All right. Later. Peace.
All right, there we go.